Hi guys, Zach here with another Command & Conquer Red Alert video. In this game I'm playing a free-for-all match on the map Destruction Derby. I'm starting in the bottom right position, playing as the Soviets. Now I am on my troll account now, the Super Nice Guy account, which I didn't use for that long, but this was just a free-for-all match which I played normally. My next troll video is coming on Friday. And you can see here, I'm just moving my troops up and down. You probably saw from the screen earlier that one person chose the position to be in the top left position, but all the other people are randomly placed. So what I need to do is I need to find out where those people are. I'm going to be checking to the left of me because there's someone quite close to the left that can start. And you can see me blocking those. And it's that in that area there where a person can be, and we can see there's no one there, so they're probably going to be in the bottom left position because there's another spot there where people can start. I'm also going to need to check above me. Now, for those of you who don't know this map, Destruction Derby, there is an island of gems in the middle, and there's a little bridge to it across the top. And it's really important to try and keep an eye on if anyone's going for that, because obviously if someone's mining gems, then they're going to have a really big advantage. The disadvantage though of mining the gems on this map is you're in the middle of the map, so you can get attacked by multiple teams, so there are some disadvantages in a free-for-all match. And by the looks of it, I am in quite a good position because we can see there's not really many people around me. There's no one directly above me, and there's no one directly to the side of me, so I've sort of hit a jackpot a little bit there of being in a really good position. We can see there's a person in the top right position, and they'll usually probably fight with the top left if there's someone there. I don't exactly know where all my opponents are, and you can see there's also someone in the bottom left position. So it seems like we're tending to be a little bit in the corners. I mean, my position's actually really good to defend against an attack from the left because there's just a really narrow slot where they can fit through, and we can see there's a little box, so I'm going to try and go and get that. And you can see me now getting my second war factory out, and because I'm in a good position where there's not many people close to me, I'm going to go for that service depot, and I'm going to start building some MCVs. And you can see we've got a rocket launcher off that, which is, yeah, it's all quite decent, especially at this stage where we don't have many tanks on the field. And you can see another box appearing there, so I'm getting quite lucky. And that's a money box, which is really good at this stage as well. And you can see me with ore at the moment, I've got loads of it. But as soon as I start building these extra MCVs, I'm going to be using a lot of ore, because what it does is it increases your building speed. And because it increases your building speed, it means your ore is going to go down faster. So I am going to need that extra ore that I've got in the bank at the moment, very soon. And you can see me expanding to the next ore patch, because what I'm doing is I'm preparing for quite a long game, so I'm just making sure I only have a couple of ore trucks on each ore patch, and then just spreading my ore trucks out just so I can survive the long game, because if you do mine at one ore patch too much in these free-for-all games, what you can end up doing is using all the ore around your base, and then you get a little bit stuck if you lose all your tanks in a battle with another player. So you can see now I'm getting that fast building speed. My ore is definitely starting to decrease. You can just see it there, less than, well, it's just gone up a little bit now because I am getting my economy set up. But that's what I just need to keep on doing, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand up nearer the top of the map, and also probably gravitate towards the gems. And you can see how I can build across the river there, and you use ore silos, and there's sometimes little gaps there. It's quite common that on a lot of maps where you could just skip across rivers, and you can see we get into this next ore patch. So my base is quite expansive now. I've got quite a few MCVs, so it's not like I'm going to get dive bombed or anything with MCVs. And you can see that red, I've launched an attack from the right, so I'm going to need to bring my trucks down, and I'm going to need to start building some Tesla coils. And you can see they're doing a little bit of damage, taking out that war factory, and now we're just going to have to yeah, I didn't mean to build that service depot again, but that construction, refinery looks like it's going to go down, and so does one of the ore trucks. But you can see they don't have enough tanks here. I've got some Tesla coils guarding the top part of my base, and I don't think there's any way they're going to be able to do any further damage. So a little bit of a surprise attack there, because usually what happens is that team that starts in the bottom left, usually they're more occupied with the teams above them. So that was quite a surprise. And now I'm getting that radar dome up, so I can see any more attacks that may happen. But you can see them going to try and take out that Tesla coil, and they're going for my ore refinery again. But I'm going to be able to build some Tesla coils, and because I've got really loads of MCVs, they are building really quickly, and you can see my economy is extremely strong at the moment. And you can see them running away a bit now, up to the north of the map, and I don't know if they're just going for, I was wondering if they were going to go for another angle there, but it appears not. And from the radar dome we can see that the red has sort of expanded, and it looks like they might be sort of expanding towards that gem patch. So it's good. That's like quite a real danger for us, because it does mean that they are going to be able to build faster if they get onto that gem patch. So I'm going to have to watch for this, and you can see them bringing in more light tanks because they did have a good number from that war factory. I've also got an extra war factory up now. They have got light tanks though, and the thing about using light tanks is they've got very low HP, and you can see I'm now struggling on the ore because they did do a bit of damage earlier. So I'm just going to have to sort of get a couple more ore trucks out just to help with that economy, because I do need to sustain this faster building speed, and I'm just rebuilding an ore truck, an ore refinery just closer to that ore patch that I was mining from earlier, and I'm going to be building another ore refinery.
Construction complete.
Just put it here, and hopefully that'll just give our economy a little bit of a boost, so we're able to produce more tanks, because I have a feeling we are going to need them. And I'm just having a look at that. You can see that bridge there, that's the bridge onto the gem island, so I do definitely want to stop any other teams from being able to utilize that, because it, as I've said earlier, it does give other teams a really big advantage. And you can just see I'm trying to sort of work my way forwards as that ore patch, as little bits of ore are used up. I can just sort of crawl forwards and just building that defense as well, because red do look quite strong at the moment. And you can just see me microing my ore trucks a little bit, just to try and get my Tesla coils in the ideal position. You can see that's just a little step too far, but I'll be able to get it here. And what my idea also is to do is that if I can advance sort of this way unchallenged, I will be able to get onto that gem patch. And you can see me building a power plant there, and I'm going to be building another Tesla coil. And you can see that forces of heavy tanks is really starting to build up, and along with Tesla it's going to be quite a formidable force. And I wonder if the other team is looking at what I'm doing, and I don't know how well they know about this map, but you can see now I'm starting to get onto that gem patch, and that's going to give my economy a really good boost. And you can see that that tank force just increasing, and this is going to make a big difference. And yeah, I'm just getting another. I usually like to get about 3 onto the gems, because you want to make sure you make the most of them. And you can see the other team starting to ready up those light tanks, and now I'm going to start building some Tesla coils just to help me and defend those ore refineries. So you can see this, heavy tanks against light tanks. They have got quite a lot, but I've also got a Tesla coil firing in the back, and I'm going to build another one. And it doesn't look like red is going to have enough. They've got a massive force, but those light tanks just fall apart too easily. And you can see I've got loads and loads of heavy tanks at this point, but you can see the green is attacking from the top right, and this was a bit unexpected, so I am going to have to fall back now, and I am going to have to defend against this. And you can see him taking out my Tesla coils, taking out my war factories, and that's going to reduce my building speed of tanks. That's not what I'm not too bothered about at the moment. What I'm bothered about though is I need the power on for my Tesla coils for one thing, and yeah, you can see he's getting into the back of my base, and this is quite bad because this is where my MCVs are, and you can see I've actually forgot to deploy one there, but we're going to get our Tesla coils up at the moment if possible. We just have to make sure that we don't run out of power, and that service depot can go down. I don't care too much about that. I'm just getting that MCV away because it looks like they've destroyed quite a few, and this is going to hurt me badly because it's going to mean these Tesla coils are going to build nowhere near as quickly, and you can see me just trying to get that MCV up and away to another part of the map. So it was actually good that I didn't deploy that MCV in the end. Just dumb luck really. And now you can see I'm gonna just try and rebuild here. And yeah, I needed to build that barracks so I could build my radar dome because I lost my barracks earlier in that early attack by red. So now we're going to go for an attack on green, try and get some payback. And you can see green's got quite a number of tanks there ready to defend. We've got our radar dome up now so we can see what red is doing. And it seems like they're hanging back for the time being, but this is the attack against green, and it looks like green does have a decent number of tanks, but I'm also starting to build up my forces again. And you can see on the radar dome the red is coming back to attack my base, so I am going to need to go back down. And what you can see, I'm losing some buildings there, but what I'm trying to do at the moment is I'm trying to push green enough so that it'll hamper them so they can't just relaunch an attack. So we've just taken out some of the main buildings, we've taken out the construction yard, and now we're going to have to focus back on my base in a minute. Yeah, you can see I'm just trying to take out those ore refineries. And I think, yeah, you can see red's destroyed quite a bit here, but you can see those Tesla coils doing a great job helping defend, helping slow that attack from red down. And yeah, they've managed to get my ore refineries off the gems, which is a bit, like, obviously annoying. But you can see my ore reserves have really picked up since, and that's because I lost my war factories, so I wasn't able to build tanks as quickly, and therefore your ore reserves start to really build up. I also lost my MCVs, so I wasn't able to build buildings as quickly. That also helped me my ore reserves build up, and that's what happens when you start to lose buildings like that and lose building speed. But you can see red now in the attack, and it looks like they've got quite a good number of medium tanks, and you can see my heavy tank force is very depleted. I'm bringing in some reinforcements though, and the question is, will this be enough? Will I be able to defend? And you can see red pulling back a little bit, and you can see that bridge leading to the gems is a little bit damaged, so it might go down possibly. We're going to have to see if they decide to fire on it, but you can see the fight's quite even. I think my heavy tank numbers are starting to pick up though, and I should be able to defend against this. And you can see me on 3 war factories at the moment, so it's not like my building speed's very slow, but it could be a little bit faster. And you can see them coming again with these medium tanks. And it looks like we've got about even numbers, but I've also got the Tesla coils to help me out a little bit, and that is going to make all the difference. Because you can see some of my tanks there are on very low HP, and you can see green still has a construction yard somewhere because he's able to long distance mine, and you can see the red is destroying that bridge. They also managed to take out an ore truck at the same time, so that was a little bit of a bonus for them. So that means for the time being I'm off the gems, and you can see my ore reserves are starting to drop down a little bit because that's just what happens. Now I really want to attack green, but I can't at the moment because I do need to deal with this red force. And you can see these red medium tanks that seem to be building very quickly, and he is building up a good mass. He's got more medium tanks, and the question is he going to be able to push through my heavy tanks with the Tesla helping? And you can see he's trying to get some shots off on those Tesla as well, and my Teslas are down, but his medium tank numbers are falling, and it looks like I'm going to be able to defend this for the time being. The question is green going to come on the attack? And that looks like, I can see on the radar dome, they seems to be coming from the north. So this puts me in a bit of trouble at the moment because I'm getting attacked by red one moment and then green the next. And you can see green's got a decent number, and I think there he was just trying to take out my radar dome. And what I'm doing now is I'm going to be building my MCVs again, because what I'm going to want to do is get a transporter and transport one of those MCVs to the middle island. A couple of minutes ago, my ore was above 20,000, and now you can see it's just starting to hang around 10,000. So I am losing ore slowly but surely, so I need to get that MCV to the middle island and start mining those gems before this becomes an issue. Because you can see my 3 ore trucks there, stationary, and I'm now building another ore refinery, and it puts you in a really good position when you get in this position where the bridge is destroyed and you've got an MCV on the middle island. The only disadvantage is because I'm playing Soviets, the other team could build destroyers around it and build cruisers and destroy all my buildings on the island, but we'll have to wait and see if that happens. I do think my opponents at the moment, red is just building tanks, and we'll have to hope it stays that way. And now you can see me getting that radar dome back up and just having it just so I can see what's going on. And you can see that force of red tanks. I don't know if you can see that I'm on the middle island because I don't think he had visibility of that area, so he doesn't know what I'm doing at the moment, unless he's got an information centre, because he is playing as the allies, so he could well have an idea of what's going on actually. And now you can see me getting an extra war factory, just increasing that tank building speed because my ore reserves are going to build back up, and you can see me getting those MCVs deployed again and getting those Tesla up. And I'm in it's a bit of a tricky situation at the moment. I've got green above me, but green seems to be, I think green got off that attack that when I attacked the base, I think that really hurt green, and I think green is struggling and he might be fighting another player also, which is helping me at the moment because it's a lot easier just to fight fewer players, and this is just giving me a chance to build up now and reinforce my position. And what I'm going to be doing is you can see those narrow gaps where tanks come through. I'm just putting a lot of Tesla around those gaps, so if green do come on the attack, it's going to make it a bit tricky for them and make it a bit harder for them to break through.
Building in progress. Unit ready.
And I've had quite a bit of time to stabilise now, so it is really helping me this, and I'm going to be able to get the tank forces back. And when Soviets have a well-defended base with Tesla, and have also got lots of tanks to help with that, it just puts them in a really, really strong position. And I'm also going to build some flamethrowers, because if they spend time trying to fight those flamethrowers as well, then it just delays the advance onto those Tesla. So you can just see me making my base really reinforced and strong. And flamethrowers, obviously they don't do individually, they don't actually do much damage, but when you've got they do quite a bit of area damage. And what you'll notice if you ever play AI, they seem to build loads of flamethrowers, and your tanks just seem to get wrecked by trying to destroy the base. And you can see me there getting a bit low on power, so I'm going to need to build some more large power plants. So I think, yeah, red's got a little bit of a mistake there. He's hanging back, and he's allowed me to build up quite a bit. But we can see that red, he looks like he's coming on the attack now, and he'll have a big medium tank force. But you can see my army now is absolutely huge, and you can see I have got a lot of base defences, so we're going to have to see how this goes. So yeah, that's an absolute huge medium tank army, but I don't think he's going to be able to break through because I've just got so many heavy tanks. I've got really good base defences. He's going to lose a lot there. And you can see he's trying to push through now. He's trying to get through the heavy tank wall and Tesla wall as well. And when you have Tesla working with heavy tanks, it's just so powerful. And you can see he was actually trying to fire on that Tesla, but now he's just realised he's losing too many tanks and he's having to pull back. But I'm going on the chase now because and because I think my tank numbers are big enough, and we'll just have to see. Heavy tank's going to be able to take out this medium tank mass. It looks, but you can just see how many heavy tanks I've got. And we just have to see this fight. It looks kind of even at the moment, but you can see as soon as some of those medium tanks get like to the other side of my tank force, they're just getting hit by those Tesla. And even if they do manage to wipe out these heavy tanks, which I don't think they are going to at the moment, they're just going to face a Tesla wall, and it doesn't look like there's going to be enough tanks left. Now you can see our tank forces are starting to be whittled down, and you can see reinforcements joining from both sides, and you can see actually my economy is actually starting to get a little bit weaker now, and that's because I've used up a lot of the ore patches around my base. You can see it's quite bare at the moment, but I'm pretty sure that they'll be having a similar sort of trouble, because you can see my ore reserves now, for the first time, they're getting quite low. They're below 7,000 ore, and it hasn't been like that for a while. So I'm just gonna have to focus on like building more of these tanks. I've got loads of defenses as well, but you can see them trying to fire on those Tesla coils, but those Tesla coils doing a lot of damage. And while they try and fire on Tesla coils, they lose tanks, and yeah, you can just see that tank force is whittled down. I've got the better tank numbers, and you can see they're having to fall back. But I'm going to have to be careful because my economy is starting to struggle. You can see I'm almost out of ore, and I'm just trying to crawl towards the base, just so I can get help sort of like from base defences. As I fight these medium tanks. But you can see those medium tanks, they're almost gone, and we're going to be starting to fire down on their war factories. That's going to reduce the building speed, although I don't know if they're going to be able to build at full capacity right now. And you can see that Red is selling up, and he's called it good game. So you can see Red, and I think Red is probably going to be struggling for ore. We'll probably have a find out, but we can see certainly a lot of his ore patches to the left look like they're pretty used up. And you can see he's got another, and he's tapped out. Although he did have some more to that like bottom left position, so maybe he wasn't in such a bad position. And we can see Yellow there in the chat, and we haven't seen Yellow this game, so we don't know what his forces are like. He could have a big army, obviously, at this stage. And you can see there, Red has completely left the game now. He's not watching anymore. And we're going to see how big Green's army is, and we're going to sort of like pull back here. Now, we do have to be very, very careful now, because you can see how low my ore reserves are. And I'm going to have to look at like maybe moving to another ore patch. So what I'm doing is I'm moving this MCV to the bottom left of the map, so I can start mining from that area, because you can see my area of the map is sort of decimated from ore, except for that like part to the left of my base where there's still some ore left. And that's what sometimes gets to these later stages, so you do have to be careful in free-for-alls, because like if I just go and attack, and you can see Yellow's asking Green if they should join forces. So I'm going to have to be a little bit careful here, because even though I do have a really good number of tanks, if they do get destroyed, I'm not going to be able to replace them. And yeah, you can just see me still mining there. I'm just waiting for MCV to get to the bottom left, so I can start building my economy there, so then I can at least replace some of my tanks if I do get in a big fight. Because we are going to have to see how big. We know Green's got like a okay force there, but we don't know what Yellow's like. We don't know if they've got a massive army, if they've been building up all game, or whether they've just got like a small base with just a few tanks defend it. Because I think that Green might have been fighting with Yellow earlier, and you can see that Gem Island completely decimated of gems now. There's nothing left there, and I'm just going to place my ore refinery there. I could obviously sell the stuff on the island because it's of no use anymore, but I'm going to try and just keep it there just in case it did get to one of those situations where it did become a base race, and then that middle island might be quite useful. but you can see green's got medium tanks there. He might have full map visibility as well because he's obviously playing as the allies, and you can see the fight is going on. And let's see how we can do here. We do seem to have a better number of heavy tanks and green medium tanks, and you can see those medium tanks are starting to get wiped out. And yeah, we're sort of like tearing through here. That's just not enough at all. And we're going to probably wipe him from this top right position of the map.
Yes, sir.
You can see he's still got a few there, and this was quite surprising. What he should have done is he should have had all of his medium tanks together, and if he'd fought with all of his medium tanks together, it would have been more effective. But you can see there's sort of like a little bit of a bottleneck. What I'm going to do is destroy that tech center, and once you destroy that tech center, the map, he loses all map visibility because he would have had he would have been able to see everything everywhere on the map. Something the Soviets don't have, and that's what makes I guess that's one of the better things about allies for free-for-all matches. They can get that full map visibility, so they can see what position all players are like on the map, something that Soviets don't get. What Soviets do get though is they do get Tesla coils, which are very, very powerful. And yeah, it's just that multi-MCV strategy where you use Tesla coils with heavy tanks. It's just so powerful. And you can just see me trying to utilise the ore around this part of the map as much as possible. And you can see there's Yellow's force, and that army is absolutely massive. We've sort of managed to destroy green from the top right. It doesn't appear like they're destroyed yet, but we're in a big trouble if that yellow army decides to attack, because it is absolutely huge, as you can see. And you can see there's actually plenty of ore in this bottom left of the map. I think the team that was there must have been destroyed early on, or just moved to another part of the map, because the abundance of ore there is clear. And what I'm going to try and do is I'm sort of going to do a base crawl. Now I've got my economy set up again, because I'm going to be able to use Tesla along with my heavy tanks. And I'm just putting that Tesla down here just in case they do go for an attack. You can see some of those yellow infantry going to this base in the bottom left, but that's going to provide me no problem. What they'll need to do is they'll need to bring a force of tanks if they're going to destroy those buildings in that area. And you can see him getting a money box there, although this stage in the game, it doesn't make a great deal of difference. But you can see now I've got those Tesla coils up and running, and I'm just going to edge them like slightly closer. And what I'm just trying to do is trying to bait the other player just to come forward and challenge me, because then I'll have a load of Tesla with those heavy tanks.
Construction complete. Unit ready.
And you can see me building some flamethrowers as well, just to put at the front, because I do think that's a powerful strategy. But what we can see is my ore reserves are running low, so I'm not able to complete that quite yet. And you can see we're going on a little attack now with my heavy tanks. We're going to have to see, is he going to respond with his medium tanks? And you can see his medium tanks are falling back. So he's not prepared to come forward. I think he'll know about that Tesla wall. He'll know about those flame towers. And you can see he's just hanging well back. But while this is going on, my tank forces are building up, and I don't think he'll have like a brilliant brilliant economy because of where he is. And you can see his tanks are coming forward now. But you can see, as he's not coming forward, I'm just taking these Tesla coils further and further forward, and it's starting to hit his tanks. And you can see there, he's got his medium tanks, but my Teslas are firing now, and they are going to be doing quite a bit of damage along with my heavy tanks. Even though medium tanks are a little bit stronger, Tesla coils do still do substantial damage. And you can see this fight is going really well for me, and you can see we're sort of like pushing him back. But you can see my tank forces are obviously getting whittled down, but I think by the time my tank forces are pretty much gone, and we'll have so much defence there that it's going to be very, very hard for him to break through. You can see already there's sort of like a wall of Tesla, then flame towers, then another wall of Tesla. I mean, it's a solid defence, and you can just see me keeping some tanks back at the moment. and I do have to be careful about that power because you see me losing power there. So I'm just going to build a few more power plants just to keep those Tesla coils firing.
Building. Construction complete. Building.
And you can see now,
Progress.
I think it's looks pretty set that you can see those medium tanks falling a little bit back. So he's just falling back all the time, and I think it's just his unwillingness to engage. What he should have done is engaged right like earlier on when green were attacking me. When I was fighting with green in the top right, that would have been the ideal time to attack. And you can see he's on the attack now, going for that power plant, and he's getting his medium tanks forward. But you can see I've just got too much Tesla, and he's realising he's just losing too many tanks, and he's having to fall back. And you can see my economy is sort of doing okay.
Unit ready. Insufficient.
I'm just building that service depot there, and that's just so I can start fixing these heavy tanks.
Unit ready. Repairing. Unit
And that's
ready.
because I'm struggling for ore at the moment. The service depot is just so much more economical. It costs it's a lot cheaper just to like main tanks which are on red HP compared to
Ready.
buying new heavy tanks. So that's why I'm doing it, using it at this stage. You very rarely see me do this in a game, but I have done it this game, and that's why, because you can see my tank numbers are not great. And now we're going for the attack on those medium tanks, and you can see he hasn't got many left, and you can see they are going down pretty quickly. It doesn't look like he's paid attention, and all those medium tanks are wiped out. And you can see now we're going onto his base. Now what I am going to do is I'm just going to wind it on, because there was like little bases, actually buildings on other parts of the map, which took a few, like about, over 5 minutes more to destroy. So I'm just going to wind it on to the end now, because it's pretty set that I'm going to win this game. And you can see there's actually green that was the final team to die there. As I said earlier, when green and yellow should have worked together, they should have both attacked me at once, and things might have been a little bit different. Anyway, that's that game. So hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.